rumor has it you hide your man. I'm like, which man? Please show him to me so I can hide him.
But that's a nice way of still hiding it if he's there.
I have come to realize that creatives, famous people, talented people, they are people.
Exactly.
Like
They're just regular
yeah,
people.
it's just that what's happening to them is happening under a spotlight, so you can easily point a finger and say, how dare he?
Well, there's a theory that you know that if you are aligned with your purpose, like
Yeah.
where your gifts are, things kind of fall into place.
They say it like it happens instantly.
I'm not saying that it's easy.
Don't be deceived. It doesn't work like that. The comedy club is called Laughing Marabusto. Don't ask me why. We could have said Laughing Crested Crane, but how dare you do that to the national band?
So there's a real conversation that happened. Your life is full. You're enjoying what you do.
And I am learning
You're enjoying freedom that comes with also. There's some freedom that comes with not necessarily being attached. I'm just being honest.
Sometimes when you've become successful, you can still have a bad show.
Yeah. Okay.
But it gets...
I think that's important for someone who wants to start.
Yeah.
To know.
Definitely, yeah. So, and also you don't get to see a lot of the bad patches for many comedians because you get to see a comedy special.
Yeah. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us for these conversations. I am so excited. My guest today is so talented and there's so much about her that you may not know. But we happen to be at Opaine, Uganda, the home of luxury furniture and customized cabinetry when it comes to your bathrooms, your kitchens, your bedrooms, all your spaces. Come by because the lighting will also blow you away since Chint is the official lighting partner. So come by to the Chint Center along Ginger Road. Now today I happen to have a comedian who is also just a lover of life, lover of art, lover of laughter. Cotilda Inapo joins me on Crystal One-on-One.
Hi, Crystal.
Hi, Cotilda.
It's nice to see you laid back like this, you know? Do
Hey.
they know all the times we have met each other? It's official duty.
Yes,
And
events.
she's all like, you know, draped in regal attire.
Stop it. People know me for this.
Holding a microphone, speaking the Queen's language in, you know, the proper dictionary English. You're like, but Crystal, I know you. You know when you see...
Well, now we can just be, right? I'm off duty on that side.
Yeah. That's
How are
nice.
you doing?
I'm good. Crazy busy, but good.
Yes. But isn't that just life for you?
It is,
Do
actually.
you have downtime?
I do.
Are you intentional about it or you just wait for it to happen?
I am, but I'm not succeeding as much as I used to in the past.
Okay.
It appears like my mind has gotten to that place. And I also think it's the age thing. It's like you start saying, you mean this is all the time I have left? I better get going. So I think that's what's happening. Because when I take a break, I sit down and then somehow my mind starts processing what I could do the next time I get up.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, well.
So right now you're living under that pressure. Like, I have to show up. I have to plan. I have to plan. But that's how it should be. I respect people who just are like, you know, just like, we'll see what happens.
I think it's a beautiful place to be. Actually, like, if I could be paid to go on vacation, like, then we would go. Of course, probably while there, I would look for, like, all the comedy clubs in the radius of the resort.
You know, that could work. That's a plan.
That's a plan. So let's see how, that can happen.
Well,
But
Cotilda, you were like Uganda's first like official female comedian, stand-up comedian.
Yes.
At the time that you started, I always like to go back to that. Did people
Oh my God.
understand what was going on?
Nothing. Myself, I didn't even. Sometimes I get asked, like, um, at what point did you decide that stand-up comedy is a career thing? I'm like, recently. You were just, as in, I was having a good time. I was vibing. I was, taking advantage of all the creative gifts that I have.
Yes.
Because, I mean, Stand Up Uganda had happened. That was 2009. Stand Up Uganda. They came and they were searching for stand-up comedians. And all the talents that you can imagine that we now know, Salvador, Alex Muhanji, Daniel Omara, Emmanuel Sebachije, Pablo, Kenneth Chimuli, they were in that competition.
Yeah.
And like the lover of laughter that I am, I was just joining the university. So I was in the audience at La Bonita laughing away.
So at that
Yes.
point, you had never taken to the stage?
No,
Oh.
I am in the audience laughing away. But also, like I said, I am a very interesting creature. So I love to dance.
Okay.
But at the same time, I have always been in church.
Okay. So it was like
I've always
on this
been.
side and on that side. Uh-huh.
So while at the university, I was serving on the St. Augustine Catholic community.
Okay.
Yes, I know. This is weird. It's like you getting to know me for the first time. Yes. So I was like the treasurer on the students, CEC, the Central Executive Committee. But the chairperson then also competed in Stand Up Uganda.
Okay.
So it's like how I end up in La Bonita. I am here to see this guy compete, but at the same time, I sit in the audience and I'm actually like, wow, I'm enjoying this. So I watched like a few of the, the episodes that happened. But then after that, after Stand Up Uganda, which Pablo, Kenneth Chimuli won, after the guys who had been in Stand Up Uganda, they decide to find a venue and start a comedy night.
Yes.
Now that's how I end up in stand-up comedy.
Had
So
you thought about it? 'Cause
no.
So before you were just sitting enjoying the show.
Vibing and being the person that loves to tell stories, loves to laugh. Yes.
So is it your friend who brought you in?
Again, I end up in the audience at the venue, which was Effendi's, right? And these guys used to have a segment in the show, an open mic segment there, where they would say, if you think you can make people laugh, come up and give it a try.
Yes.
So I go to this, and it was Salvador, Daniel Omara, Alex Muhanji, Kenneth Chimuli, even Teacher Mpamide, Mendo, yes, Museveni, he was also part of it. These guys are spending the whole night making jokes about women. I'm sitting in the audience like, do you know, as a university girl, do you know the stories I have about men? So I didn't even need to think hard. Like, these were jokes that we had shared. Like, you're in the hall and you're like, this happened to me, this happened to me. So I literally just went up and told these stories. And the audience like went crazy because they could relate. It was hitting at the guys because they had spent the whole night
hitting
talking
at the
about it.
girls.
Yes. So that's how I ended up being a hit in my first open mic segment. So I returned the next show. Like, it had become a thing because you're at the university, you're a first year student. What do you have to do with your time? Like, even the lectures at that point are.
So that was now like a weekly thing for you.
Yes,
You're
it
like,
was plot because they were having, it was a weekly. Every Wednesday, they would have the show at Effendi's in Centenary Park. So the second time I came through, now I kind of had an idea that if this open mic segment comes up, I'm definitely going up.
okay.
Yeah, so the second time, they again made the call, if you think you can make people laugh, step up. I step up, and then I make fun of each of them and associate them with a football team,
Okay.
Because again, it came from a place of watching men. So I have 4 brothers. Yes, I have 4 brothers.
Okay.
And my brothers are something else. Like, if you have brothers, you have survived war. Like how they...
Are they older?
2 are older and 2 are younger.
So you're in the middle.
Yes.
Oh my
But
goodness.
yes. So my brothers, to express love, the things they do are diabolical. Like, you are sleeping in bed, and because somebody is missing you, they just come and jump on you. You're like, They just come and sit on your back. You're like, I could die. They do the strangest things. So, like, also, but then they are the best company. So, all of the things I saw my brothers do, the football teams that they support, and how crazy they would go over soccer, the betting at home. So, it was kind of like a good, mirror for me to write content about guys and stand-up comedy, and soccer. So the next time I stepped on the open mic, that's what I did. I talked about guys and soccer. And the audience loved it. So Salvador, Daniel, Omara, they say to me, you should probably stay around and try this thing. And as they say, the rest is history. The next time they wouldn't let me come from the audience.
Okay.
They said, you are definitely coming from there.
So when's the first time you made money from stand-up comedy?
Girl.
Were you like many creatives working for the love for many years?
No. Okay, I was thrown into the deep end in a way without knowing.
Yes.
So what happened? 2 months into myself joining the whole comedy space, the stand-up comedy space, the guys decided to host Kings of Comedy. Kings of Comedy, I think, happened at La Bonita.
Yeah.
And it was hosted by Patrico Mujuka and Abe Muchibi, which was kind of like a callback to Stand Up Uganda, which they had heard as they were the hosts. But now I was the only girl, so it was inevitable I had to be on the lineup.
Yeah.
It was more like of an affirmative hire, really. Because at that point, what am I doing on Kings of Comedy, right? So that show traumatized me because to write for that show, I remember even picking up my brother's high school magazine, St. Mary's College Chisubi. I was looking for what are people writing in these magazines. It was crazy because now I had to come up with like a full set.
So the pressure was really
It was real. And a show of that nature, you're not doing like a quick 3 minutes. No, it's like a proper 10 minutes.
Wow.
And the incubation time, if you're a fan of stand-up comedy, the incubation time for a good joke is not like 3 days. A good joke is refined in front of a live audience.
And you test it again and again and again.
And it grows, and you go back home and you realize there's a tag somewhere, there's an additional punchline somewhere. So it was like crazy. So I do that show. I was paid, yes, but
in all honesty now,
because that was the first time I was like, do I want to be in this space? Because one of the biggest dailies, they are somewhere in this neighborhood, so I won't mention them, they write a review of the show.
Yes.
And all I can remember, that was the first time I realized this is a real world, girl. This is not playtime anymore. This is not child's play. They said Cotilda should have been used as a prop.
Oh, man.
Now I can laugh at it,
nice.
but then it was traumatizing. Because to be honest, though, I actually made people laugh because the current Chief Justice, his lordship, is he his lordship? Because I know the titles come with a certain, yeah, Justice Owinjdolo.
Yes.
He was in the audience.
Yeah? Oh my God.
Yes, he was in that audience.
For that show.
And then he remembered, like he said, one of his favorite jokes that night was a joke of mine that I did. It was about village thieves. But then, like, that was like...
So you left your set, you did your set, you were feeling good about it.
Yes.
And then the newspaper review came out.
Yes.
And they said you should have been a prop.
No, I'm not mad about it now because to be honest, stand-up comedy is such that when you've started out, you're not as good as you think you are.
True.
Actually, if you rewatch, even for your favorite stand-up comedians, if you go look for their original...
For the old stuff.
Hey, you're like, hey, who told you were funny? Your friends are bad people.
But I honestly think it takes a whole lot of courage because
It does.
the knocks come not only from the audience real time where people aren't laughing sometimes.
Yes.
I've always wondered, how do you manage that?
Ooh. Actually,
because you still have to get up again and do it again.
Yeah. Anybody who wants to commit suicide, they should try this. They should start there. It's suicidal. We actually call it death. Comedians call it dying on stage.
Yes.
But it's called bombing. Like, you go and it's just like the audience looks at you like, is that supposed to be funny? Yeah, but then also with time, you develop muscle.
Yeah.
Like
So
stand-up comedy is like a muscle. Like it grows the more you exercise it. Like it's one of those places where the 10x rule like proper applies. Like the more you do these shows and the more you get out there and you bomb here, you bomb there, you bomb wherever, like you develop a certain, it's like your, what do they call it? Like in a car, like a safety mechanism. Like at the back of your mind, you can see yourself starting to die. Like,
so you brace yourself.
yes, like your mind, you're like, it's been a minute, and the way these guys are looking at me, this joke ain't funny. So with time, you start to find ways to come back from a bad joke. You kind of have like a fallback at the back of your mind. You know, you start to work around it. Some days you actually die and there's no resurrection. Like you die and you just have to walk away with your tail.
So you have to develop a thick skin.
That's it.
Because I still think the courage to come back again and again and again.
Oh, it's like without a doubt, you have to have a very thick skin. Because it's not like funny as is funny. We always say in stand-up comedy, we don't have upcoming. Because a good joke is a good joke.
Yeah.
And it can be told by somebody who's only been here for 2 days and by somebody who's been around for years. And that person who's been around for 2 days could be good at telling jokes, so you can't really categorize them as upcoming, because unlike music where we can promote a song and put money behind it and it's not really a good song, like the public can tell.
Yeah, but you just hear it so
many
many
times that it's now ringing in your ears. You're like, it's a hit. I mean, well, how else can I explain the fact that I wake up with it on my mind?
Yes.
It must be a hit.
Yeah.
But with comedy, you're not going to, listen to that joke again. If you listen the second time, you find it funny. It doesn't work like that.
And I think sometimes, because I have seen, and I'm sure you're used to this,
Yes.
seen comedians jack other people's content.
Oh yeah, that
And
happens as well.
they'll do your joke, and sometimes
Yes.
they'll do it
Better.
with a little twist or better.
Yes.
So that's what I mean, thick skin, man.
Yeah, you have to. And also, with time, when you've just gotten, one of the things that you learn to be a good comedian and a good writer is what we call making peace with letting go of your work sometimes, which means you have to allow yourself to be like a pipeline. Like at some point, it takes a lot of time for you to get to the place where you're like, I can write better. I can write more.
Yeah.
Because initially it hurts because, like I've told you, the incubation time. Like you're like, this joke, I worked hard on this joke.
It didn't land.
But then with time, like you're like, oh well, there's another angle to this.
How important is timing? Like comedic timing? Because I've noticed that there's a way that, even the pauses.
It's a skill. Actually, you can be so funny among your friends, which is what shocks a lot of people when they step up to try stand-up comedy. They bomb so bad.
Yeah, because your people know you.
They
understand you.
That.
They expect
it's not even
something.
Just that.
Really?
It's actually, stand-up comedy is a proper skill.
Okay.
Yeah, like the delivery. There's a huge chain between your writing and the final product.
Yes.
There's delivery. There are act outs in there. There are tags in between. There are things that people do intentionally. There's a reward. Like there's a way the content is delivered to play with the audience's emotions.
Yeah.
To tell the story. Like I can give you the easiest example. My brother Salvador. When there are things Salvador does, and your mind, like you're anticipating something foolish is about to come.
Yes, you know.
Yeah, and that's the art of stand-up comedy that separates it from just jokes.
Yes, exactly.
That's why you can be funny on TikTok, you can be funny, when you write, but when you step on the stage to do stand-up comedy, unless you've mastered the delivery, it can be a whole different
performance.
Yeah.
Because why I say the comedic timing is sometimes even before the joke comes your way, it's just the pauses.
Yes.
It's just the way the comedian looks out at the audience. It's this naughty
Exactly.
expression.
Yeah.
And then you just feel yourself building up towards it. So the way we feel, receiving it is
Yes.
so good. I wonder, what does it feel like to be the one where
Who's delivering it?
everyone is primed and they're in it?
Ooh, it's incomparable. The same way, like when you bomb, like when you go home, when you go home, you're like, why did I leave the house today? Which demon tempted me to... Like, who's in touch with my village people? Like, who arranged this bad day? Like, that feeling, now just take it to the other side and go as far as you can go. It's such a beautiful feeling because, like I've said, it's a reward. The same way the audience gets, like, if you get into the science of it, there's even science to these things because, there's that reward, the dopamine. The audience also gets it. They get it. That's why they live with a certain high. Like, they are high on laughter in a way. And that reward, and also it causes a bond.
Yes.
That's why you see, like, you find an audience that is attached to a certain comedian, like, to levels that are just crazy. It's because there's a whole bonding that happens, especially when the content is relatable. The person feels like, this person is like in my life.
Yeah.
Now we are friends.
Because sometimes I know, like, you have such a gift for using just your real life, experiences, your observations. Because I've seen it with you on stage. The things that you see every single day and you never think about it, and they're hilarious because you can see yourself right there living in it.
Exactly.
So I think you deserve a lot of credit.
Thank you.
Because also, I'm sure you've seen this over time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have people who will recycle the same content.
Oh, yes.
Because it's almost like a safe space.
Yeah.
And then if an audience has heard the same joke and then they see it again at another function, they start to think, what's going on? So the pressure to keep coming up with new content.
But I also think that I paid the price for that in a way, but in a good way.
Okay.
Then it wasn't the best thing. Because we were doing shows weekly as the Crackers, the Mic Check, the crew that, I ended up joining, Salvador, Alex Muhanji, Sebachi J, Daniel O'Mara, Mendo, that whole crew.
Yes.
Dolly Bondo. Jokes had to be written every week. That's like proper being in Hell's Kitchen. Like, it was crazy. But that also meant you're bringing a joke to the stage that hasn't been fully incubated. So the audience, like, by the time we moved to La Bonita sits over 700 people. So multiply 1,400 eyes looking at you like, are you serious? This is what you an adult. This is how you've come to represent yourself out here. This is how you want us to remember you. But then you go through that, and over time, you learn to be okay trying something new. That's what. So actually, sometimes I have other comedians remind me of jokes that they feel I should do.
That you should do again.
Yes, do again.
Yeah.
Because I try as much as possible to write something new. Like, I'm like, I feel the audience has had that. And they say, but that joke is so good, you should bring it back. And then sometimes I bring it back. But because of that, like, indoctrination of the every week, it made it easier for it really built up my writing muscle in a way.
Yeah, I see what you mean about thrown in the deep end.
Yes.
Tell me about school. Were you like the funny girl in school?
Were you always telling jokes? The catalyst. You know that person who, like, when something is going down, is passes by and is like, but I knew it would happen.
So you just slide in and slide out?
Slide in and slide out. But also, I've always been very talkative. So I've been more, I would say, naughty. Naughty, like...
Did you get in trouble? I think I saw you were in Gayaza, right?
Yes.
Gayaza High School.
Yes.
Okay.
I was in Gayaza High School. But even then, I was like, even in the dormitory, I was known for being one of those people who's like shouting things across the dormitory. Like I was just jumpy. I wouldn't say going out of my way to be funny, but I was always jumpy. I was always talkative. I was always that. And somehow I don't know whether it's just a blessing in that I was one of those kids who didn't have to read too much. You know, those very jumpy, naughty people who don't have to read too much, but somehow pass.
Yeah, yeah.
So that helped. So, and I didn't really fall into the high school dynamics of, you know, cliques and everything because I was just, you know.
So you were confident in your own skin.
I was just there.
Being
Confident,
yourself.
I wouldn't say necessarily. Have you met any teenager? There's always some, you know, a bit
Sometimes
of.
you are.
Yeah, but mostly I was just, you know, just living and being crazy with it.
Okay. Okay. Because I was wondering if maybe some of your school experiences kind of shaped the way that you pay attention to the world, or you've just been always really observant.
Oh, yeah, no. So this is the strange thing. I always tell people there's like two sides to me, like I've said, which you've seen. The church person, you're like,
Yes.
what are you doing there? So it's like when I get out of my crazy self, I think it's like now I understand it. Thank you, Gen Zs. We appreciate you. You found a way to phrase all these things. Maybe all along my social battery had limits and I didn't know. So I could term it that way. Like when I'm done and all that has happened,
you retreat.
it's like I retreat. And then when I retreat, it's like I regurgitate everything, kind of like, yes, like what has happened in the day. I said, so it has made me like a good writer. So in that process, it's like I remember things I observed throughout the day. And then now it helps that in real time, like I could be somewhere and then I'm like, now that, and then I record it because I know when I get back later, I'm going to listen to it and I can tell where my mind was at when I saw it because behind it, I've already figured out a joke.
So you'll do what? Record like a voice note,
Yes,
a video?
now I can
real
record
time.
like a voice note.
Yeah,
in
so you
real
don't
time.
lose it.
Yeah, so I don't lose it. You see, age, how bad it is. Those days I didn't have to record these things. What is this now? What is this?
But there's so many sides to you because it's interesting that you talked about school and how it was kind of easy for you to do well.
Yes.
While you started stand-up, you were at university.
Yes.
What were you doing?
Computer science, believe it or not.
Computer science.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Did you ever work in there?
Yes.
Okay.
So I didn't really. So while I was at campus, sometimes during the holiday, there was an internet cafe somewhere where Equity Bank is, like on in Wandagea, somewhere on there. There was an
yes.
I used to work in that internet cafe. So I would go and work there and then load people's, you know, time and all those things. So I would do that in between some evenings, make some small money, things like that. But also, when I left the university, I actually applied for a little while. Yes, I did an internship with a proper, you know, systems and computer company doing servicing, you know, servicing computers, all these things I did. But then I was already taken up by the creative in me. And the creative in me had always been fighting to come out. Because even in high school, because I was brilliant, you will not believe this. What would I be doing now in Mulago? Can you imagine? I did biology, chemistry, mathematics, and foods and nutrition for A level.
And then you went to computer science?
Yes,
What's
I failed.
going on? Oh. All right, madam. Biology, chemistry.
Yeah, but then it was actually because, like I told you, I just didn't apply myself because I was good at them. But
Because by the
A-level,
time you selected them,
yes,
you must
not
have
even
done
by
well.
the time I selected them, I was allowed to take them on. It's because I had passed them from O level.
But it just wasn't really...
But for A level, you actually have to proper apply yourself. It's a book this size to finish in 2 years.
Yeah.
But then before that, even in O level, one of the things that, so my teachers later would say, whenever they meet me, which they do, they say, you were always meant to do arts. You were meant to be, because in my O level literature, my English teacher, my literature teacher would select me to read out loud in the classroom. It was one of my best times in class because I would dramatize the whole reading. I'd be like, and then he stopped and then I would silence. Like I was one of those people who would read for the class because they would go in turns. You remember that whole class reading where everyone has a paragraph until you finish the whole segment? Oh, I would dramatize mine.
So you enjoyed, so you were drawn to the arts, but because you were good at both.
Yes. And then my dad is an engineer. My mom is an economist. My siblings are engineers and all kinds of things. Architects.
So it made sense.
So it made sense, like, you know. Yeah.
So when you started stand-up, how was your family with it?
My family, know? Yes, they did.
Okay.
But they were like, as long as you finish school. Like, there's no debate. School, do whatever you need to do. This much you should know.
Yeah.
School,
that's why no debate. You must finish. You must have your degree.
You must finish school.
But you do realize you've been hustling for a long time, huh?
Girl,
anyone? I worked while I was at university. I'm like, if you work while you're at university, you are just a hustler in life. I'm
like,
sorry.
You need a break. You need a break. Like, you just need to be like, guys, let me raise my feet, you know? But somehow it's because of that. So even why I say I didn't start out, you know, wanting to do stand-up comedy as a career, is because of the giftings of my creative life. The writing, and then my endless talking. I found myself on radio. I was also doing that for fun. That's what I would
say. You were a radio host at some point. Then you've also been an actor.
Yes, I was also doing that for fun. Like I got onto radio because
you did like what, 2-3 years?
Yeah, I did 2 years. But it was like to date. I feel like radio. I will definitely end up there again one day because I can't help myself but talk. And then because of the writing, at the time, I also ended up becoming Kansime's creative director.
Yes.
So I was writing for her. And also that was like one of those moments. She's at minibars. I would pass by, say hello. She's shooting a skit or two. I'm like, we should do this. So I'm writing skits. And then she gets this contract to do like a whole batch of the whole Don't Mess with Kansime. And then she's like, would you like to come on as my creative director? I'm like, sounds fun.
Yeah.
That's how, like, it was never a thing of, how much will you pay me? What will the job, the work? Never. It was never like that. It was always,
And you've worked with her on so many different projects.
Yes.
Yeah?
So I did that again for 6 years. I did that for 6 years until I felt like, I think my mind has departed from this, which is the only thing that I have. Like, when I'm not like any more passionate about it, I always like, I feel like I don't have to, you know,
do you feel like you have answered like your true calling this entire time, so things have just fallen into place? Because there are people who like sometimes fight so hard for their dreams or fight for what they're doing.
Yeah.
And well, there's a theory that you know that if you are aligned with your purpose, like where your gifts are, things kind of fall into place.
They say it like it happens instantly.
I'm not saying that it's easy.
Don't be deceived. It doesn't work like that. Like I've told you, it's until recently that you look back and you're like, now it all makes sense.
Now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense.
Okay.
But to get to the now it makes sense is a lot of discovering life. Like I've told you, I got into the stand-up space. I started Queens of Comedy because it was also crazy for me to do this whole thing.
Why? When was this?
2013.
Queens of Comedy.
Yes.
Was someone else like, oh, you should do this?
No.
Or...
Queens of Comedy, I can even remember where the idea hit me. I was seated at Chadondo Rugby Club.
Chadondo Rugby Club?
Yes. And it dawned on me, this has been one crazy journey. By then, how many years have I done it? And between that space, Queens of Comedy came from a place of, this baptism by fire. I can surely save some ladies from having to go through it. Because it was proper baptism by fire. Like,
you kept seeing it.
At some point, I would bomb and like 3 weeks consecutively, like, who can save me from myself? Somebody do something. But also at that point, which is why I feel like as the crackers and the whole team that was mic check, we have like this sibling bond. Like we may fight, we may do this, but we have like a season of life we went through together that kind of forced us to have some form of like a deep bond because then they were like my support system. So what happened, sometimes I would have a bad show and then I'm like, I have to do better. Because what happened actually, there are so many comedians who dropped off. But again, I have staying power. That's like my only gift. Like if I decide to do something, you will scrape me off that place with a tractor. I'm not leaving. I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
So one time I'm bombing like crazy, right? Like every week
Every
I get
week.
on the stage and I die. Like bro, like
Oh my goodness.
where the audience is like, hey, whose daughter is this? So
Okay.
I'm bombing like badly. This is at La Bonita. I think 2011. It's like there's a phase where just and it came from what do they call it? Imposter syndrome. Like I go to a space where like my career was ahead of me or my brand was ahead of me because I'm only 24 at the time, 23, 24. Like I am like larger than life, but I'm still figuring out this whole entertainment scene. So like I started to actually fear the stage, like truly, like so I would step up and I would actually feel myself afraid, but the audience wouldn't know like all these things are happening with me and what.
Yes. But they feel whatever energy.
Yes, of course they would feel the dead energy, hence the constant. Because sometimes people can see that where your intentions, but we're not here to laugh at your intentions. We're here to laugh at punchlines. You get it? So that's what was happening at a certain point in my life where I'm writing, but I'm also not very unsure of myself. Right now, it was work.
So there's that too.
There's that too. And then I was finishing university also at
So
the
were you
time.
feeling also the pressure of that?
Yes. Now what am I going to do with myself? So much was happening at the same time. But then in hindsight, I didn't know it, I just knew I wasn't having good shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that season, our then manager, he sits me down and another comedian who was also religiously bombing.
So first tell me, is this like a thing? Like, sometimes you're just having a bad patch.
Yes.
And everyone goes through it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comedians, they'll tell you that even sometimes when you've become successful, you can still have a bad show.
Yeah. Okay.
But it gets.
I think that's important for someone who wants to start.
Yeah.
To know.
Definitely. Yeah. So, and also you don't get to see a lot of the bad patches for many comedians because you get to see a comedy special.
Yes.
So,
and they've refined those jokes.
But you've not seen the small comedy clubs and bars where they went to test content.
Yes.
And you don't know which jokes didn't make it. So
you're saying this with so much experience.
Yes. I see. That's why you see sometimes when I hear also the audience say, why aren't these guys like this person? I say it's because all you're seeing of that person is a comedy special, which is a well-organized set of refined, jokes over a period of time. It doesn't matter who it is, even the guys that we love, the greats, the cycle, the incubation cycle of stand-up comedy is such that we have open mics at the bottom, we have comedy clubs at the bottom. So every comedian, when they're building a new set, they go these places. Like that's why people love comedy clubs.
So you have to keep putting in the work.
Yes. People love comedy clubs because what happens is you could be in any of these nice comedy clubs like in the US, in different states. On any random night, Kevin Hart could appear. Because he will be wanting to test a set that he's building up to and he will walk into a comedy club and try it. That stuff you'll not be allowed to see. By the time you'll see the comedy special, which is what we were experiencing. No comedy clubs, no open mics. So La Bonita and that weekly show was
literally your comedy club, but it was
yet it had to be. Yet it had to also be like, a grand show at the same time.
So because you said you were bombing again and again.
Yes.
That's why you thought about Queens of Comedy?
That's why when I got better, which was 2013, I said I need to help other ladies not go through the whole process. No, it's not. They shouldn't have to if someone now has a formula,
Yeah.
of how this works. Because then I now knew that when you're writing, sometimes after you've written, you need to find other comedians that you can bounce off some of these ideas and they can say, no, that's going in the wrong direction. Have you thought of taking it in this direction? Then you can go back and refine that content. Then you can put it out there. And that was stuff that I didn't know until I tried it out.
Okay.
And that came as a result of the other talk I was telling you, where our then manager sits me down and the other comedian who was bombing and says, Cotilda, you and this man, you either become funny or you
So you got like a warning.
yes, or you leave my stage, because what is this?
It was that bad.
But then also, because I am the kind of person who, like I always tell people, I'm a student of life.
Yes,
like
yes.
I get, disappointed and things like that, but I go back and tell myself, when was my part in this? How can I improve from it?
So you were open.
Yeah, I was
You're
open.
open to
He
hearing.
left. He was like, man, I have died enough.
Okay.
I have family. I have people.
So he quit?
He quit.
Hey.
He quit. And he wasn't the only one. If you go back and look at the team that came out of Stand Up Uganda, you only know like how many currently? Like
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did
absolutely.
everybody else go?
Yeah, they fell off along the way.
Yeah, the team that actually started the Mic Check show, they were 12. I joined them along the way. So stay in
Okay.
power. I told you.
Okay.
It will take you a distance if you learn how to stay.
So
and
you said
figure it
you've
out.
been doing this, what, 14?
So if you
14
say
years?
from 2009, we are now in 2025.
Hey, 16 years.
Is it
then.
16? No,
Yes.
no, 14. Is it?
16, my
No.
darling. Your math is failing you. 2009
Yes.
to 2025.
Girl, math is going to betray both of us here. So
It's
2009
16 years.
to 2019 is 10. Hey.
Eh? You were saying? So you have stuck on 14. You're like, I haven't even hit 15. You've crossed, my darling. You've crossed. But good on
Yes,
you.
yes.
Good on you,
Yeah.
because it means that, number one, you're very talented.
Yes.
Number two, you have a backbone.
Yes.
Because, like you said, many people fall off along the
Yeah.
way. Number three, this is truly a passion for you.
Yes, it is.
And then you've done all other things as well. Because, like you said, you fell into radio at some point because you
Yes.
like to talk.
Yeah.
I want to know about acting. You've been in
Well,
a few movies, right?
Yeah, even the acting thing.
And a series. Which one?
Yeah, Damali.
Yes, yes.
The acting thing, the first time I acted, I think was 2011. How it also happened, James Owaraga.
2011?
Yes, James Owaraga, he was then leading one of the TV stations, if you remember. Programs manager or director at the TV station. He was producing a film called Christmas in Kampala.
Ah.
So then he says, Cotilda, I think I have a part for you. I'm like, okay, let's do this. I jump on and I did well. That was the first time, like I
So
put
you
my
were
body
just
to
like,
I
why
said,
not?
all along I was doing these things, and I was just doing them because I can do it. Let's do it. It's in the creative arena. That's fun. That's
Were
fun
you
for
on
me.
stage in school? Did you enjoy
Yes,
it?
a little bit.
Okay,
A little bit, but not as extensive as I would have been.
Okay.
If I had, really given my creative side. I was mostly dancing, actually. Yeah, because like I said, I love
You
to
like
dance.
to dance.
Yeah.
So you decided to join. You did really well.
Yes.
And then you thought, oh, I can do more of this.
Yeah, so that's the acting. It's like every time I've found myself in a role, either I have been called for it. So it's always like, apart from Damali, which I actually genuinely auditioned for, I was like, I think I should do a series. At this point, yes, I actually auditioned. I remember being in the line for the audition, and one of the guys said, Cotilda, even you're here. Like,
Why not?
I'm like, yes. He's like, you you should have started, like, I expected you to have started your own. I'm like, wow, I've come for yours. Yeah, and then I got the role for that part in Damali. But also, like I've said, because of the creative gifting, I was freelance copywriting. So I still have ad agencies that call me when they have like a pitch. I do copywriting.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and when the president said, "Who are DJs?" we as comedians were like, "Ah, if the man doesn't know DJs, now
What
you."
about that?
So we started looking for jobs and things to do. But I was already doing copywriting. So like post-COVID, actually during COVID, and like that is 2021 to about 2022, I proper did like a lot of copywriting work.
Right.
Yes, because I mean,
You had to survive.
they were not being released anytime
I
soon.
know.
So
That was a
yeah.
scary time though, eh?
So think about it. Along the way, I have done the stand-up comedy, which I was doing for fun until like recently when I was like, Cotilda, it's about time you actually got serious about this as a career. But within that time, I traveled a lot to do shows. So I did radio. And then I became Kansime's creative director. I wrote for her for 6 years, led this creative team. We traveled the world. We built a big brand that is Kansime. And then after that, I did the copywriting, which again, while acting and doing copywriting in between, crazy human being, right? There's no end to it. Then also doing the stand-up comedy. So until like maybe 2020 to 2021, I was like, I think I've had enough rotation.
So trying a bit of this, a bit of that.
While the stand-up was like, it's always been there,
Yes,
like a
it's
vein.
always there.
It's always been a vein through it all. But like 2022, I was like, now I'm going to do like proper stand-up comedy as like
Okay.
a full-on.
So you felt like you're in the space to really pour into it
Yes.
fully.
Yeah, fully.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. How do you manage your time? Like, for example, tell me what this week is like for you.
Oof.
Because
So-
I'm listening to you and I'm like, when is rest? Where is rest?
Rest is actually there. I've always been a morning person, so it helps my day to go longer.
Oh, okay.
So I'm up quite early. Then on days when I'm faithful to my routine, I could go for a walk or a run
Okay.
or something. Then I used to go to the gym religiously, but now because my schedule gets mixed up, sometimes if we are shooting, say for the series, then you may find I've been on location, probably till late in the night.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
means the next day it's quite messy.
Bit dicey.
So it's not necessarily even about, it's more about just knowing what you have for the day and figuring out how to place it and which days are not flexible. And just so actually, I think most creatives will find that Monday is a forced rest day.
Yes, it's kind of
Have
your
you
slow
noticed?
day.
It's like the slow day. But now for us though,
I try to give myself Monday morning.
See?
Because you might work the whole weekend.
that's what happens actually.
yeah,
So and then there's a year, okay, probably this year it won't happen, but I think last year I decided I had never been home for any like proper public holidays. They are peak season.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Okay, yes,
Christmas,
yes. You're busy then.
yes. Name it. Whether it's Eid, Christmas,
Man.
like everyone is
missed them
putting up
all, huh?
everyone is putting up this huge event and they're like, are you free? So it's like Boxing Day, you're going up country for a show.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this year I'm staying home.
How was that?
Strange. Very strange.
Because we're talking a long time of you working on these days.
Yeah. So it was like, take a bit of a break. So COVID forced us all to stay home
true.
as well. But yeah, so mostly it's like I wake up and I know like this week, there are like events. I'm going to be traveling. We started the comedy club. How can I forget to say that?
Thank you.
Yes. We started the first like fully fledged comedy club
When was this exactly?
in March. End
Hey,
of, yes.
Just this year.
6 months. So we've been in it
Wow.
like crazy. So
we who?
Myself, Cotilda,
Yeah.
Dr. Hilary Okello,
Mm-hmm.
Timothy Nyanzi,
Okay.
and Okello Okello.
Okay.
We are the directors of the comedy club. So we started the comedy club in March.
When did you start planning it?
Actually, it's like a brainchild of Timothy Nyanzi.
Okay.
So he always had this idea, and he would share it with us, and we would keep saying, "Oh." So we kept looking for venues and things like that until we finally found a place that we felt we could collaborate with to run the comedy club. So the comedy club runs every Tuesday and Thursday. So that means those evenings for me are almost non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Then to be able to feed the comedy club, we run an open mic on Mondays as
Okay.
well.
So open mic Mondays.
Yes.
Then Tuesday and Thursday.
Yes. And then Fridays, it's inevitable. It's events. Saturdays, same. You know? So yeah, Sundays, I actually go to church proper.
You do? You
Yes,
wherever you
girl.
are, you make the effort?
Yes. Oh, I stream online. Like I proper go to church. Girl, we gotta kick the devil to survive in this industry this long.
Yeah.
That dude be persistent. So yes, I do like proper go to church. I get those side eyes, of course, in church. Like somebody's praying.
What, they're surprised to see you?
Yeah.
Shocked to see you?
Yes. Also because I don't know why people assume that to be in our industry, you're prayerless. Like you must be. You is
Like you
the
have no
devil's
faith.
friend. You are an entertainer. You and the devil must be like.
Those are the
No, we are
misconceptions
not.
because
Yes.
you work late nights.
Exactly.
You work a lot probably in bars and nightclubs.
Exactly.
So people automatically
They
think,
assume-
they don't realize that you are working.
Yes, that's the thing. So yeah, so Sundays then I'm in church. So
Good
that's
on
why
you. That keeps you
Mondays.
centered as well.
Mondays are like proper if I can sleep. But then again, because I'm used to getting up early.
So you're an early bird.
Yes.
So what, eyes open by 6 kind of thing or 7?
6:30.
Yike. Okay. So you're not going to sleep in until midday. and
No,
you're like,
no. But if I can, I'll probably reboot the day in the afternoon and like
and have a nice nap.
I need a nice nap. So
Okay. So the comedy club, tell me a bit more about that because we're just a few months in.
Yes.
Said March, it's now
Yes.
October.
yes.
Wow. How is that going?
Ooh, we've actually pushed.
And tell
to
me
do-
where it is.
It's
For
in
people who
Ntinda.
don't know.
The comedy club is in Ntinda at Donnell's Bistro. So the exciting thing is comedy clubs are part of the comedy circuit, the stand-up comedy circuit.
Yes.
So what happens for most established comedians all over the world, when they want to travel and do comedy, the first places they look for are comedy clubs.
Right.
So we've been missing out on that because we didn't have one. Like last year, Dave Chappelle was in East Africa. It was so painful. We even made calls to try and have him stop over in Kampala. But there
would
was
have been
nowhere for
amazing.
him to stop over, actually. So he stopped over in Nairobi, and then he jumped over Uganda and went to Rwanda. He literally jumped us and landed in Rwanda. But if the comedy club had been running, we definitely would have hosted him.
Right.
Because from the time we opened, we've had over 6 international acts. We had Chris Ryan from Australia come through. He just hopped in. They always just send us messages. They're like, so I'm doing this tour. Do you guys have a slot? We're like, of course, we do. Come through. So that's what
Okay.
happens. We've had Arnold Xavier from Kenya. Same thing. He's like, guys, I want to do something.
So
Is
there was
there
a real need.
Yes, there's actually a need for comedy clubs because, like I've told you, it's what happens before the special.
Yeah.
So it's important to have them. So yeah, so from the time we opened, we've had a lot of visiting acts. We have hosted a whole festival, like we did the Marabou Laugh Fest, which we just did. The comedy club is called Laughing Marabou Stock. Don't ask me why. We could have said Laughing Crested Crane, but how dare you do that to the national bird?
So there's a real conversation that happened around this. So the Laughing Marabou Stock.
Yes,
Okay.
it's the comedy club.
With a
And
calligraph?
besides- no,
I'm just
that's
imagining
hilarious.
something.
No, probably it would have its beak pointing up, but it's not like that.
Okay.
Yes.
So speaking of like the people that you look up to,
Yes.
Dave Chappelle, we all know is one of the
Definitely.
greatest.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But who are the people that you've like looked up to in your career? I always love to know, in other spaces, some of the other entertainment spaces, you
Yes.
might find that what you're talking about, that loyalty, the closeness that you have, it's almost like your family in many
Yes.
ways. You support each other. You come on board with different projects. It's nice to hear from you that you've had a lot of that support.
Yeah.
But in terms of like looking up to people who inspire you, who are the people?
Wow. I've been blessed in a way that the community with which I started stand-up comedy
Yes.
has always been around, whether indirectly or directly.
Okay.
So I cannot start to talk about people I look up to without starting right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being that the whole family that was the crackers. I remember when I was bombing, I started going to Napoleon's house to refine jokes. I started going to Emmanuel Sebachije's house to refine jokes. I started refining jokes with Daniel O'Mara backstage, with Salvador. So all these guys are a very integral part of my journey. And I definitely, if I'm starting to talk about people I look up to, I would not bypass the whole Mike Chick and the Crackers family, Alex Mohanji, the guys that I started out,
Yeah.
doing, they are such an interesting part of my journey. Like I said, these are people who have always been she's young, let's give her a chance to grow. So they've always been, additional big brothers and family. And then, of course, when it comes to the ladies as well, the Fun Factory ladies, they've done this for ages. They have this chemistry where, they just can sense the other performer and just throw this line and the other performer grabs it before it lands. It's just beautiful to watch. They have this seamless. So I've always it has started right here at home. And then when I started Queens of Comedy also, I got a chance to work with Leila Kachapizo. For those who know Leila Kachapizo Kalanzi, she shouts her voice she doesn't need a microphone. She could stand in Namangve and shout at someone at the Ginger Road traffic lights. But then that is a skill, because those are people who have done theater.
Yeah.
And theater teaches you
How to
projection. And then they have this animated way about them. So I've always had that opportunity to see these people live in their craft, Leila Kachapizo, even Sengana Ntume. People now know her on, the Comedy Store stage and all that crazy satire she does. But she's originally from theater. And I first got to see her from theater, the place of her performing with Kachapizo on a Candolin Dolly, Abe Muchibi, Patrico. All these are people that I have looked at and I'll be like, "Ooh, look at that confidence. Look at that stage presence. Look at that delivery." They've always been people who have been. And then I got to also work, even working with Anne herself. All those are different people that I've met along the way that I would say have been they've sown a seed, for lack of a better word.
They've also helped shape who you are.
Yes, as a performer to date.
Yes,
Everything that I know, I have learned live. Nobody told me, sat me down and said, "So you're going to step on stage like this."
Because
No.
I imagine, you have to say, that doesn't work for me.
Yes,
that works
that
for me.
works.
So you have
Yes,
to pick
you
and
have
be
to
discerning the
pick
entire time.
Yes. And so along the way, all those people that I have had the opportunity to work with and be in the same space with and silently take notes are people that I definitely give their flowers. Even the radio, the guys that I worked with, Innocent Nahabwe, all those are people that I give their flowers, because they were just being like James Owaraga. They were just being like, this creative, jumpy girl, let's give her a chance and see what she does with it. And then I would run with it and do something and find myself along the way. So here I am.
So, we were talking about all these different,
Yes.
aspects to you. I do know you've done also some mentorships as well.
Yes, I have.
Some trainings.
Yes, I have.
You've done a couple of workshops.
Yes.
What's the most recent that you've done?
So because of the Queens of Comedy thing, when I am not like doing the whole comedy thing, I have a passion for all things girls, all things women, but it comes from that place of baptism by fire. Because some of the girls I tried to mentor, they would have problems like my boyfriend thinks it's embarrassing.
Oh.
And it's a real problem because I understand, because I've also had guys be like, but you, eh? I don't know if dating you is a safe choice.
I think that's a real thing.
It is a real
because
thing.
whoever's in your life is content. Right? I'm saying, but it comes with it, right?
Not you justifying
No,
this.
but I imagine that, especially if you're looking at everyday life,
Yes.
even your relationship, there are things in
There
there.
are things there that have to come to the stage, right? But now,
Have you tried to make an effort to keep those two separate?
why would I?
You see?
But also, I don't do it like the way you would think. Like I'm going to come and start dissecting you like a lab rat.
That's him. You see him. Let me tell you about him. No.
No, that's not how it works. But
Yeah.
that actually has a direct impact on how the ladies get to interact in a space outside of the creative arena.
Wow.
So they get a lot of hits. They take a lot of hits to their self-esteem. Like even I have had those moments where you're like, bro, we just broke up last week. Why are you in the front row?
Can you please disappear for some time?
Like find other things to do. Surely, So those things are part of the reason why I'm very passionate about all things ladies and all things girls, and also my personal journey. Like, I mean, thus far I have come. Can you imagine the things I've been through to be this wise?
Cotilda. That's a good point. We're laughing, but it's a real point.
It is very solid. Like
There's a lot that you have to deal with.
Life also gives you its proper slaps, and you're like, hey, yeah, it's time to be serious. So definitely, with all that I have been given, I mean, I have to also give back. So yes, I have been doing a lot. I actually have been an advocacy champion for women creating wealth. With under the Grasha Michelle Trust. So we've been like, with women entrepreneurs and seeing what business ideas they're coming up with, and then there's a whole program where they put them through this course and all these things. So I've been an advocacy champion for that. I know there's no end to this human being. There is no
So telling you, there's so much to you.
Yes.
So many different sides to you.
So I've been doing that, and then I get to go to schools every so often and sit down with the girls and be like, so what is disturbing that little head of yours?
Do you think that a lot of women in creative spaces have to give up their dreams?
Yes.
For these reasons, like relationships
I nearly did
or family.
as well. I nearly did as well.
Really?
Yes, I nearly did as well. So I understand it a lot. I do understand it actually, because remember, our working hours are,
Yes.
late nights,
travel.
a lot of travel and this and that. So it actually takes a lot for someone to partner with one in that space, but it speaks of character, really.
Yeah.
As you grow up, you understand that sometimes it's not, there's nothing wrong with the person. It's just that you're not aligned, because I have come to realize that creatives, famous people, talented people, they are people.
Exactly.
Like,
they're just regular people.
It's just that what's happening to them is happening under a spotlight, so you can easily point a finger and say, how dare he? No way.
Yeah.
But if we just rotated the ring light and on yours,
No, as my mom always used to say, even the Queen of England would go to the toilet like everybody else. So
Right?
it doesn't
Right?
matter.
Yeah.
We have the most basic functions. But
Yeah. And strangely enough, because I am with these creatives, the same a person of good character is a person of good character irrespective of the work they do. And that's the thing I think where creatives get judged harshly.
yeah.
If you like, you've been in the creative space, you have some people you would vouch for with your eyes closed. You'd be
Yeah.
like, that one, nah. We will not rob you.
Yeah.
He will not cheat on his wife. Like
He will not try to take advantage.
He will not try to take advantage of you because you just gotten into the industry. And then there are some you'll be like, girl,
Watch your back.
I'm not saying, but
I think it's so
Yeah.
incredibly important also to get someone who really believes in you
yeah,
and supports
definitely.
you,
Definitely.
knows what the bigger picture is.
Definitely. So, and because of those things, I understand that there's a little bit of a difference. I love Ali Wong. There's a comedian called Ali Wong.
yes,
She's
yes.
hilarious. She did this whole show post her divorce, and she says that, that
It was so hilarious.
Yes,
God.
you saw
But
it.
there were moments where like, oh my God, did
she
you?
go there? But she went there. But you remember what she said? She said the groupies that the men get are different from the groupies the women get. So it's like the guys, the more famous they get, the better the women they will get. Probably. On the other end, for the ladies, it's almost like the bigger they get, the more likely they are to get the bottom of the barrel, unless they are very
Wow.
intentional about it. Because what
Yes.
happens, it's like either somebody's assuming that they've done so much to get there, or they are such, there's so much of a misconception of what the creative and the entertainment space is.
Yes.
And that's why you will find that there's a lot of challenges for women in there. But hey, come on. It means there's always room for greatness. Wherever there's challenge, where there is a Goliath, there's a David waiting to rise.
Okay. All right,
Yes.
Missy. So when can we sit down like this for the motivational talks as well?
Ooh, those ones. Every so often I give them, but I've realized that Ugandans love a good story better. So let's first tell some stories, eh? Tell some good stories, eh?
And then you slide it in somewhere, along the
Somewhere
way.
along the way. But also, I've always been very sure that I will release a book sooner than later.
Okay, so that's in
Because
the
I
works.
write it and then I stop and then I do
You
other
keep it?
things.
Ah.
So I think I will share a lot of great lessons in there. Though, like I said, when you sit down a few girls and you feel like poking their insides to know what's disturbing them, call me, we'll chat, we'll have some real chats.
Okay.
Turns out I actually seem to be able to connect with them.
You're surprised. Even you're surprised. Well, I'm looking forward to that. A book from you would be amazing.
Definitely.
I know we need to wrap up. What do people not know about you? What would really surprise someone about you? Someone who has interacted with you, only in your public.
Only in my public space.
Yeah.
I think they know, but they don't know.
They know, but they don't know. What does
Yes.
that mean, madam?
They have an idea. Like I've had, a few questions that are hilarious. That somebody says, "Rumor has it you hide your man." I'm like, which man? Please show him to me so I can hide him.
But that's a nice way of still hiding it if he's there.
Show him to me and I hide him. No, so just to get it out of the way, truly though, I did get married at some point,
Yes.
a little younger than I should have probably. I have a son, but I am divorced.
Okay.
Yes. I'm divorced and not searching.
Not searching. What happened? We shall talk about that later.
Not necessarily from the point
But
of...
just not at this point in your
Not
life.
necessarily from the point of what happened. More from the point of my view of life previously, I think as women, we have a lot of unlearning to do. We grew up watching these beautiful movies,
Oh,
and we
yes.
kind of
They
feel
lie to us.
and we feel incomplete without them.
Yeah, yeah.
I still believe one of the most beautiful things is companionship.
Yeah.
In whichever format it comes, whether it's marriage or, it's companionship. But why I'm saying not searching is because life, like, I didn't know the depth of the beauty of life beyond my myopic mindset of, like, I'm at this stage of my life, I have to get married, then I have to have a child, then I have to, and that's so beautiful. I'm not taking away from it. Just so that you say, hey, Cotilda, it's because for her. No, guys, don't quote me wrong. It's beautiful. But life is so deep and so fulfilling and so enriching. And it's like, it's taken me a while to find that place.
Yeah.
And so finding that place is beautiful. It's like, so I'm kind of like enjoying that space as well.
I understand.
So,
yeah. Your life is full. You're enjoying what you do.
and I am learning also.
You're enjoying freedom that comes with also. There's some freedom that comes with not necessarily being attached. I'm just being honest. But like you said, a companion can be the cherry on top.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing. And when it comes your way, please do embrace it under the right, conditions. Be wise about it and embrace it. It should make your life richer.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
Yes.
me who likes
It should
it
make
should
your life
make
better.
your life richer. That's like the only thing that I would give as like a nugget.
Yeah.
It should make your life richer. And then somebody whose mind stops at money is going to say, she said, if he's not rich, I will slap you. You know, I'm so used to people misquoting, all these things. No, richer means fuller,
better, healthier, more
like
productive.
more productive.
They should bring out the best in you.
And you should bring out the best in them,
Yes,
basically.
yes.
It should,
Because there's sometimes you have two perfectly wonderful people, but they bring out
put
the
them
worst
together.
in each other. And you're like, but what's going on?
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, very fulfilling.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're in a great place. Great
Girl.
place right now, great phase
Girl.
in your life.
It's true what they say. The 30s ain't too bad.
It gets even better in the 40s.
Girl, no way. Tell me more.
I'll tell you about it. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
I'm glad I did.
Oh.
I'm glad I did.
That we made this happen.
Yes, because there has to be a joke at the end. Because I mean, come on. So you with all this nice fair skin, you needed like the other side of the cookie. So that
Cotilda.
did I lie?
Well, thank you so much. This was lovely.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming to Pain.
This
And
place is
can we
stunning.
walk around?
Yes. Yeah, So, what is like our takeaway? Do they give us
Well,
like a
thank you for watching. Yeah, we are going to walk around.
And in case a seat goes missing, I tried.